My father was good like that. But I'm tired, son. Please, take it.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Movie Idol. So, will Carl die in this Sunday's episode of The Walking Dead? It's been a long-standing theory that he'd die sometime this season, but with the new revelations we learned last night, all signs seem to be pointing to this Sunday's episode. Before we continue, however, please be aware that this will contain spoilers for The Walking Dead television series, as well as the comic material, basically all of Carl's story in the comics. Also, at the end of the month, I will be announcing the winner of the Walking Dead bundle. To qualify for a chance to win, you just gotta be a subscriber and comment down below. But let's begin. So let's just discuss the big new details we got last night during Talking Dead. That's sort of the reason for this video. Before this, there were really only rumors that Carl would die either during the mid-season finale or the season 8 finale. I've always presumed the season 8 finale only because Carl hasn't been appearing much lately, and it'd be weird to kill him off out of nowhere if he hadn't become the moral compass. But scratch all of that. During Talking Dead after episode 7, Chris Hardwick teased that a big moment would occur in the mid-season finale that would forever change the series. Now, what exactly could that be? A lot of people have been talking about Carl. They've been suggesting his death. It's been like this weird theory that's been out there for like the last few weeks, and that teaser doesn't help. All we have to do is survive tonight. The teaser heavily focuses on Carl. He's stepping into Rick's shoes as Michonne and the rest sort of stand back. It's Carl's moment. This teaser really demonstrates that. It demonstrates his ability to lead really well, sort of the reason I don't want this theory to be true. Carl's always been this character to learn from his mistakes, but not only that, like his mistakes were just natural and normal. He was growing up. It's amazing to watch him grow up in this dead world, right? I'll talk about Old Man Carl in a second, but that was the big hope for the future of The Walking Dead, that it would end in some future timeline. Carl and Judith and a few others would have survived and beat this world as they remember what their lives were like leading up until that moment. But I'm sure a few of you guys are probably like, hey, why is Carl going to die? What proof is there? Well, the main piece of evidence is the "My mercy prevails over my wrath" thing. It's a quote that Rick says. It's a scene in the season 8 premiere that hasn't been explained yet. Like, why would Rick say something like that? That scene was definitely from the future. It didn't happen in the premiere. It was from some future. Either it was from the finale of the season or the mid-season finale. That or the mid-season premiere, of course. They usually do big moments for those episodes as well. But the big question, like I said, when it comes to that scene is, why is Rick saying that? Just looking at his eyes, you can see they're scarred red, like he had just been freaking out over something. The theory, Carl just died. The quote is only tied to two people, well, sort of three in a sense, Carl, Rick, and Siddiq. Siddiq first said it in the premiere, Rick and Carl sort of heard it as well. That's why people are connecting the dots with that. The theory suggests that Rick says this after realizing that his son was right. His mercy must prevail over his wrath of Negan. His son was right about it all along. He should have listened. He should have been a little more understanding of Carl. Many people are going to see what he did before his death. The teaser for the mid-season finale just shows that. It shows us a leader, a great leader. There's also one other thing that I sort of picked out, and it's the Old Man Rick scene. A lot of people are saying that this is a dream sequence or a flash forward. I sort of think it's a combination of both, and the reason is because I definitely think that The Walking Dead will do a time jump like this going into season 9, but I don't think Carl's going to be a part of it. I think it's possible that this scene here, when we see Carl walk by, that this is some sort of ghost in a sense. And the reason is because we don't actually see Carl's face. He sort of just walks by and Rick sort of notices him walk by. And no one really notices that he just walked by, besides Rick. It seems like Michonne might sort of see something, but I'm not sure. I think just Carl walking by like that, not being able to see his face, I think symbolized that he isn't in this future because he died sometime in the past. Now, how could he die? I mean, that really depends. Is it Negan that's going to kill him? Is it a random savior? Is it an explosion? What exactly is going to kill him? That we don't really know. An explosion would be pretty messed up, I think. I mean, he'd be splattered everywhere. I don't want to see that. I just don't see that happening. That'd be way too harsh. Rick would also have no one to cry over if that, of course, happened. That's why I think if Carl's going to die, it's either going to be by a gunshot or a knife wound. Something that'll cause Rick to be able to hold him as he dies. I swear to God, I really hope I'm wrong about this. As for my feelings on all of it, I mean, I'm very, very mixed. I honestly don't know what to think. On one hand, the stakes have just been raised if he dies, right? But on the other hand, you're getting rid of a character that has always been promised to be the shining star of the series. Andrew Lincoln, Norman Reedus, Robert Kirkman, and many others have always promised that Carl was the main focus of the story. The Walking Dead is his story. Thus the inspiration for the Old Man Carl theory. The Walking Dead is Carl's story. As much as we think it's Rick's, it's not. We're seeing this kid grow up in this apocalypse, make a bunch of stupid decisions because of course he's going to, he's a kid, but we always sort of knew in the back of our minds that he'd be a different person somewhere down the line. That we'd look back on the series to when Carl was a kid and be like, wow, was he ever different? That's what I want with Carl's story. I don't want him to die in that sense. I wanted Carl to be an adult and be a more responsible leader than his father. I wanted him to make Rick proud. I want to see that story happen. But if he dies, that's all gone. The notion of The Walking Dead being Carl's story has gone down the drain. Now, I won't stop watching the show because he's gone. I'll definitely be interested to see what they do afterwards, but it's definitely going to feel like a missed opportunity in my opinion if it of course does happen, and the reason is the comics. After All Out War, Carl's role in the comics is really amazing. He falls in love with this girl named Lydia. She's the daughter of Alpha, the leader of the Whisperers. He gets entangled in that mess, and it's amazing to see him deal with being a young adult. When two teens come at him, almost beat him and Sophia to death, Carl freaks out, grabs a shovel, and nearly kills them. That's a whole other story in itself, but it symbolized Carl's growth in this dead world. It was just amazing to see how different he was compared to other kids. Since that moment, he's been a pretty big leader. You know, if he was of age, he'd be a leader of some community by now. He's just at that awkward stage where he's too young to really do anything. That's sort of where he's at in the show as well. He's just too young to really do anything. He's too young to take that position. Give it like 7 or 8 years, or maybe when he's like 25 or 30 or something like that. Yeah, then I know for a fact he would be a leader. That's essentially how old Maggie is, I think. I'm not sure of her age, but she looks like she's like in her mid-20s or something like that. But she's leading Hilltop just fine. But I'm gonna leave it here. What do you guys think? Will Carl die in next week's episode of The Walking Dead? All signs point to yes, especially because Chris Hardwick sort of gave away that a big monumental moment was about to happen, which sort of ruined the surprise if it does happen in my opinion. Before he said that, all signs sort of pointed to yes, if you of course read the theories online and so forth, but with the confirmation by Hardwick that a major moment was going to happen in this Sunday's episode that'll shock people, combine that with the 90-minute runtime of the episode, yeah, I've never been so certain that Carl was going to die. But post your thoughts down below. Will Carl die? Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe for more Walking Dead content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.